This is CBS 2 News this morning.
Well, bird flu raising the price of eggs across the country. Over the last just 30 days, 151 flocks have been confirmed to have avian flu. It's affecting more than 23 million birds across the U.S. That's according to the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, part of the USDA.
Yeah, now health officials are trying to keep that from spreading any further. The U.S. Department of Agriculture issuing a conditional license for an avian flu vaccine. The hope is that it would quickly stop the spread and get egg prices back on track.
Other countries already vaccinating chickens against bird flu, but some are arguing that vaccinating chickens may make it difficult to detect the virus in immunized birds, and trade concerns that may result from that.
Another concern is if a disorganized vaccine effort could end up hurting more than it could end up helping.
Yeah, medical reporter Liz Bonus, she shares why more vaccines against the flu are being stockpiled right now.
Hey there, everybody. With bird flu cases continuing to climb, infectious disease specialists say they are closely monitoring the potential for this H5N1 virus to mutate. That could influence vaccine effectiveness of what we have stockpiled so far. You see, normally we vaccinate humans when we have concerns about a virus spreading. But in this case, it's the birds giving it to us. Dr. Stephen Fagans told me he's been tracking cases as a public health provider.
So no known human to human, at least in this particular outbreak in the U.S.
So that raises the question, should we vaccinate the animals, which so far are birds and cows, transmitting the virus to us? It's done quite often, but in the case of bird flu, here's the problem.
The thing with the influenza vaccine is it decreases the severity of disease, but not necessarily the transmission of disease.
That means the virus could mutate or change, and the vaccine that we do have then would no longer be effective. There are about 5 million doses of the H5N1 vaccine stockpiled in the U.S. right now. The way you'd have to make more of this kind of vaccine is with eggs,
which are in shortage because of bird flu.
Since right now the current vaccine does seem to match the current strain of bird flu infecting people, there's a hesitancy to make a bunch more because
these things change over time. To stockpile something that may not be the right one, it doesn't necessarily make sense.
Just so you know, bird flu symptoms mimic the human flu. So if you are around these kind of animals, you should know that you can have those symptoms from 1 to 10 days after exposure. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
Well, as we wrap up this 5 o'clock hour, we want to give a huge thank you to everyone here at Bond and Bevel. They have been so great to us, even opening up a couple hours early for us to come to our shows here.
Yeah, and speaking of which, if you want to come on down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, free drip coffee. It's on us until 9 a.m. It's courtesy of CBS 2 and Fox 9. But your local weather and news continues on idahonews.com. We'll see you back at the top of the hour.
Take the news with you on the radio, 670 KBOI. And for news and information 24 hours a day, click on idahonews.com. CBS 2 News this morning.
I'm trying to get us.
Starts now.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, hey, good morning. We are on the road this morning. We are at Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, and the coffee, it is on us this morning. You can come down here to, again, Bond and Bevel in Caldwell and get free drip coffee on us through 9 a.m.
Yeah, not only did they let us out of the studio this morning, they're giving us coffee. We are in for a great morning. The people here at Bond and Bevel have been so great to us. And if you come out and join us, you'll want to get probably a warm coffee this morning.
Absolutely. If you want to splurge and get something that's not our free drip coffee, I highly recommend the orange mocha. No, I was not paid to sponsor that. It's just that good. I just love it that much. So I highly recommend it. I will be getting another one probably in the 7 o'clock hour.
Yes, it's going to help keep our fingers warm this morning because you are going to need it, even though a warm-up, you tell us, is on the way.
Yes, we do have a warm-up on the way, but it is a little chilly out there this morning. We have some areas with temperatures in the single digits and teens. Now let's take a look from on top of our CBS 2 studios in downtown Boise. Again, we're looking at some partly cloud, mostly clear conditions out there right now, and we do have some diminished visibility in parts of the Treasure Valley this morning. Now, here's a look at current temperatures across the region. Right now, we're seeing some spots with temps in the single digits to the teens, like Baker City and McCall, while most of the other areas are in the 20s and 30s. Let's take a look at clouds and radar right now. Not much to show at this time on the radar other than just some scattered clouds across the Treasure Valley. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our projected highs for today. Looks like we will see most areas in the mid to upper 30s to low to mid 40s. We'll see a high in Boise of 45 degrees. Here in Caldwell with my beautiful lights, we'll see 45 degrees as a high, 33 in Stanley, and 38 for our friends in Harper and Baker City. Now here's what we can expect for the next couple of days. We will see temperatures above that average temperature of 38 degrees. 51 degrees will be the high tomorrow. 49 on Sunday. And look, 55 balmy degrees on Monday. We'll see 52 on Tuesday and 53 degrees on Wednesday. And that's a far cry from those negative wind chills we saw a couple of weeks ago. Coming up, I'll have a look at your extended forecast for the Treasure Valley and the mountains, and I'll track our next weather maker, which will bring us some wet weather over the weekend, ladies.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Eric. Well, a helicopter crash at the Rary Reservoir. It happened just east of Idaho Falls overnight.
It crashed onto a frozen reservoir halfway between Rary Dam and the Blacktail Access area. So let's take a look at some of the details that we have this morning. One person is dead, another sent to the hospital. Deputies say they found a downed power line nearby as well. The area around the Rary Reservoir closed off because of the downed line and because of unstable ice. Multiple agencies getting together to assess the damage, including the Bonneville County Sheriff's deputies, Search and Rescue, Idaho Fish and Game, Jefferson Central Fire, and Idaho Falls Fire. The Federal Aviation Administration and NTSB are being notified as crews are continuing to investigate why the helicopter went down and why it was in that area to begin with. We will be sure to keep you updated as we continue to learn more.
And this, of course, comes during a recent spike in crashes coming from the sky. The most recent, the plane that ended upside down on a runway in Canada. The investigation into what caused that aircraft to flip still ramping up. The Canadian Transportation Safety Board saying the wreckage is now off that runway and in a nearby hangar for further examination. Delta confirming that all 21 passengers who were hospitalized with injuries from the incident have since been released.
And 2 people are dead after 2 small aircraft collided midair over Marana, Arizona earlier this week. The other 2 in the second plane walked away without having to go to the hospital. Marana Regional Airport is referred to as an uncontrolled airfield, which means pilots communicate their location with one another, leaving the responsibility of maintaining safe separation on the pilot in command. The town of Marana is working to get an airport control tower.
Before that, others reigniting attention to air safety. A medevac plane crash in Philadelphia killed 7 people. A plane crash in Alaska killing 10. And a private plane ran off the runway near Scottsdale, killing the pilot. And late last month, the collision of a passenger jet, an Army helicopter in Arlington, Virginia, killing 67 people. Some blaming recent federal cuts in the FAA as the reason why we are seeing so many crashes.
And we start our continuing coverage. And we start with our continuing coverage of Idaho's foster care crisis.
The state still sending Idaho foster children out of state, or to other states rather, for treatment. Now, data from the 2024 state fiscal year showing Idaho sent 138 children outside the state That is up from 68 children in 2021, and the first time more than 100 kids have been sent out of state for that treatment. And it comes at a big cost to taxpayers. Data obtained by CBS 2 shows the state spent more than $10 million to treat those kids out of state. That is more than double what the state spent back in 2023. During the 2021 state fiscal year, the state spent just over $1.2 million. And as for why foster kids are being sent out of state, it's because an in-state provider isn't available or doesn't have the resources to meet the needs of that child. Health and Welfare saying the cost of treating foster kids in congregate care, it's split between federal and state funding. 25% of foster kids placed in congregate care, they end up going out of state.
At the Idaho legislature, Health and Welfare Director Alex Adams is asking lawmakers for more full-time workers, 104 new employees, that is, family service workers, youth safety and permanency staff, and foster program, clinical, and licensing staff. The director says these positions will help the system focus on keeping kids out.
When a child is committed to the custody of the department, we have a legal obligation to place them. One option is keeping them in home through a prevention case. The other option is if they do come into our care, we can either place them in a foster home or congregate care, which I believe is what Representative Tanner is referring to. If I keep a kid in their home in a prevention case, it's $1.80 a day. If a child is removed from their home and placed in foster care, it's $16 a day. If I don't have a foster bed available to them, congregate care is $380 a day. You get your best outcomes in prevention cases.
He notes a drop in the number of open congregate care beds since the pandemic, saying it's one reason he's focusing the budget on prevention cases and recruiting more foster parents. He says there are 94 foster families available for every 100 kids entering the system, which is a big improvement.
And the governor's office is recommending about 53 positions. As for the budget request, the director plans to keep expenses lower in other parts of health and welfare to accommodate the increase in youth and family services. The budgets will be sent out sometime later this morning.
And recruiting new foster families is a challenge for the state. Data obtained by CBS 2 shows there are 488 new foster families here in Idaho during the most recently recorded fiscal year.
And that's actually the lowest number going back about 4 years. However, since the summer, there were 94 foster families for every 100 children. The department's goal is about 150 foster families. And we have much more going on inside the Capitol. Of course, stay tuned. We have more on the changes coming to Idaho foster care and more on what you can expect inside the State House today. For the latest in-between newscast, you can always head to idahonews.com.
Well, we mentioned this morning that we are at Bond and Bevel Coffee here in Caldwell. We are having such a great time, starting our morning off really on a really great note. Thank you for joining us, Clara.
Yeah, for sure.
It has. It's been such a wonderful morning. And on that note, folks, free coffee on us this morning. If you come down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell until 9 a.m., you can get free drip coffee. So come on down out of the cold, get something to warm your hands. Again, that's through 9 a.m. But thank you so much for being with us this morning, Clara.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about Bond and Bevel. When did you guys begin here in Caldwell? And tell us a little bit about what sets you guys apart from other coffee shops.
Yeah, totally. We have been here for almost 3 years. So we've kind of seen some of the changes happening on the plaza, and we're so happy to be in downtown. We love our community here, and I think we are a little bit different than most coffee shops here in the Valley. We have our coffee, which is fantastic and amazing, and then we also have our leather goods side. So we make all of our leather goods here in-house, and our workshop is here, and so people can, see us working on all of our stuff in the bag when they grab a cup of coffee.
No, it's so cool between the smells of the coffee and the smells of the leather. It is heaven here, folks.
Totally.
Yeah, and I see you brought some leather goods for us, so tell us about this.
Yeah, definitely. So these are two of our signature items. These were designed here in-house, and so two of them.
Oh, they're together. I like that. They come as a pair.
So those are our amber whiskey glasses. They're a tempered glass that takes hot and cold really well. They're made from a company in Chicago, and then we wrap them with our leather wrap. We stitch the sides of them and everything, and they're just really great. You can use them for whiskey or for coffee or for whatever. They're just really, really awesome. And then this guy here, this is our flannel lined wallet. And this one just leather wears in gorgeously. And it's lined completely on the inside with the flannel. And this is one of our best-selling items. People really like this one.
Okay, so these are made right back here in the vault.
Yes, yes. Everything about that. It starts as a big, huge cowhide, gets all cut up and stitched up, and it's made into products like this.
It smells so good.
That is so awesome. So, do you do some of the leather work here? Have you been dabbling?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a really neat art form. Definitely a lost art. There's not many people that work with leather, and it is so neat. It is really, really special. So I'm very happy to do it.
Okay, so I have to know, what's your favorite leather item to make?
Oh, that's a great question. Personally, my favorite thing is actually making new things. I don't do very well making the same thing over and over again. So I love making new items, and that's part of what people love about us, is there's always something new. And one of my favorites to make, if I had to make something again, would be our Outpost backpack. So that one is going to be a really nice strap leather backpack. I carry one of those, and it just wears in amazing, and it's a really, really neat item.
How long does that take to make?
Oh, that's a good question. If I actually put my mind to it, I could probably make one in about 2 days, generally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Just to show the craftsmanship and how much goes into making each and every one of these items. Those backpacks are beautiful, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, we of course have much more fun coming from Bond and Bevel this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. She'll be back with us for a lot more, and we'll also be giving you a little tour of the leather studio too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But as far as drip coffee this morning till 9 a.m., come on down. The coffee is on us.
All right. Well, let's take a look at our question of the day. First, let's take a look at yesterday's question.
Yeah, that is the average person buys 6 of these a year for their home. The answer, folks, it's light bulbs. Some great guesses yesterday, though. And for today's question, 8% of people never clean this. Folks, what do you think it is?
This is CBS 2 News.
Right.
This
Front standby.
Front standby. We'll just stretch until he...
Yep.
Welcome back on this Friday. This morning, folks, we are out on the road. They let us loose.
Yeah, they let us out of the studio this morning. You're taking a live look at Indian Creek Plaza this morning because we're here in Indian Creek Plaza. We're at Bond and Bevel. You're going to want to come see us, and not only just to say hi to us, although that's pretty great, you can get free drip coffee on CBS 2 and Fox 9 from 5 to 9 a.m. So you have about 3 more hours to come down and get some free drip coffee. Or if you want a specialty drink, we hear there's a special barista back there today.
Yeah. Our own Eric Walker is enjoying some coffee, and of course your forecast. Eric.
Good morning. Yes, somehow they let me behind the counter. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to make a latte for my ladies, and I'm here with Ethne. Ethne, can you help me make the best latte that you have, and what is it?
I would love to. So we're going to today actually make a mocha.
Okay.
So we're going to get our 12-ounce cup right there.
All right, so I guess we'll do 2, because we're going to get one for each of them.
Sounds
okay.
good.
Got
and then
it.
this is our chocolate syrup. So we're going to put 1.5 pumps of chocolate syrup in each cup.
So 1, and then
about a half.
Okay, let's do it again.
Perfect.
1 and about a half.
There
All right,
you
hope
go.
you like chocolate. Okay.
Alrighty, now we're going
what's
to
the
come
next
down
step?
here.
Okay.
So this is our coffee grinder over here. So we're going to press this button right there.
Okay. Oh, I love pressing buttons. All right.
And this is grinding our coffee.
Okay. Awesome. So what kind of coffee is this?
So this one is our Eden's blend. It's actually a Guatemalan blend that we actually get from Oregon.
Oh,
so
very nice.
Yes, we're gonna
All right, so what's the
take
next
this
step?
guy.
Okay, taking this guy. All right. Oh, all right.
And the trick with this guy is we're gonna put him down here.
Okay, down here.
I'll hold you right
Oh, like
about there.
that,
Yep.
okay.
And then we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna spin it around. All this does is just flatten out the grounds for you.
Nice. Okay.
And we're gonna take this and I'm gonna have you push down on it.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way.
All
Push
right.
down on it and make sure it doesn't fall off the side.
All right.
Perfect.
How's that go?
That looks great.
Okay.
And then we're going to put it in here.
All right, so we just...
The trick with it
Well, what's the trick? Yeah.
is we're going to
Show
put
me
it
the way.
sideways
Okay.
and pull it this way.
Awesome.
It's kind of a little
yeah,
tricky.
I'll let you do that step.
You're good. Then this is our cup that we pull the shot into. And we're going to press, I'll have you press another button.
Oh, thank you. I love the buttons. All right, so down?
Yep, we're going to press that guy down.
All right. Ooh, it smells good already. Oh, I can't.
Coffee smell, you can't go wrong, right?
No, you sure can. I should have had a third cup for myself, but they'll be making me some coffee later, so, you know, I'll have to wait for my turn.
Perfect. So we're going to wait for this shot to go all the way up to the 50 mark.
50 mark, and did I just turn it off?
Yes, and then we'll turn it off after that.
All right, countdown, 30. So tell me, how long have you been a barista here?
I actually haven't been here for too long, but it's definitely something that runs in the family. My sister is really, really into it, and so I just hopped along the train with her.
Awesome.
So,
You know, I used to work with my brother. That's always fun. People in the family. All
Yeah.
right, so now what do we do?
Then we're going to take the shot and we're going to put it in one of the cups.
Okay, the whole shot?
The whole shot.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
All right.
Alrighty, then
So
I'm
now
going to
what?
have you take this little stick up here.
Okay.
And we're going to mix it up a little bit because that chocolate sauce tends to stick on the bottom. So if we
Oh,
don't mix
yes.
it up, then it just kind of tastes a little strange.
Yeah, it's kind of thick.
Yeah, yeah.
All righty, how long do I stir it for?
That's probably
good?
pretty good. And then
All
you can
right.
just set it right
So
there.
Right back there, okay. They put it back here?
Here, I can put
All right,
that.
thank you.
You're good, you're good. Then I'm going to have you come over here and we're going to
Alright.
steam some milk.
Okay, so how do I do that?
That is our milk pitcher, and I'm going to put a little bit of milk in there for you.
Awesome. What kind of milk do you like to use? What's the best-selling milk?
I like to use whole milk. It's pretty
Yeah,
standard, but
I like it too.
it works pretty well
It
for
sure
every
does.
drink. So the trick
Alrighty.
with this is our steamy one. So
Okay.
this heats up the milk and it adds a little bit of air to get that foam,
Nice.
which makes a really good latte for you. So you're going to put it in here,
Okay.
and then you're going to turn this on. When it turns on, it's going to be a little loud, so
All right.
just warning you.
So sorry at home, we're going to be loud for a second.
So we'll turn it on, and then you can pull it down just a little bit,
Okay.
and you hear that noise?
Oh, yeah.
That's adding just a little bit of air to it.
Oh, nice. So what does the air do to it?
So the air adds that foam that, you know, when you have a
Okay.
latte and that thin layer of foam on top that makes it just makes it a little better.
Nice. Okay.
And so this is
It's
also,
getting hot.
it's also heating up
All right.
your milk. So I'd say that's probably good. So we're going to turn
Alrighty.
it off.
All right.
then-
Pull it down.
I'll get a little rag to clean off that.
Perfect. So just pour this in
And then
here?
you're just going to pour it right in there.
The whole thing?
The entire thing.
All right. So here we... Oh, yeah. It got a little thick, the milk did.
Yeah.
Okay. Got just about all of it. All right. So
Perfect.
now what's the next step?
Then that guy should be good.
So this one's done. Okay.
So you
I'll
can
get
put a lid on
I'll
it.
get a top. And I'm going to get one of the girls to taste it. Thank
Sounds
you so
good.
much.
Of course.
All right, so here's my labor of love. Who wants this first cup for my labor of love? The wonderful chocolate latte. You know, I should have it for myself, all that hard work I just did. All right, here we go, ladies. And you could, you know, we don't have germs, we could share.
You grabbed the wrong cup.
All right, let's see how I did.
Chocolate.
Oh, Eric.
Oh,
You're not allowed to leave us for the barista life.
all right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll keep my day.
Delicious.
You made this.
I did. Surprisingly enough, you know, it is a shocker that I did something right.
Well, it is delicious.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you guys love it. And you know
Yes.
what? We're gonna have more.
This is CBS 2 News this morning.
Welcome back. It's 6:23 on your Friday. Now, some economists have warned the so-called Dodge dividend could fuel inflation.
Kevin Hassett, director of the White House's National Economic Council, dismissing those concerns.
Oh, absolutely not, because imagine if we don't spend government money and we give it back to people, then if they spend it all, then you're even. But they're probably going to save a lot of it, in which case you're reducing inflation.
Now, according to the proposal, DOGE is expected to complete its work by July of 2026. When it's all done, 1/5 of any savings could be sent out later that year to the roughly 79 million households that pay income taxes. Musk's goal is to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget, though experts say it's unlikely Doge will reach that mark.
And House Speaker Mike Johnson not on board with the taxpayer dividend from the savings of the Doge project and what they've been finding in federal spending.
Fiscal responsibility is what we do as conservatives. That's our brand. And we have a $36 trillion federal debt. We have a giant deficit that we're contending with. I think we need to pay down the credit card.
On the table, other conservative lawmakers are saying something similar, noting that issuing checks will not do much to help the country's fiscal situation. Musk says he's angling for $2 trillion in savings. Doge cites $55 billion so far. Some reports show that is based on a misrepresentation of the numbers.
And a beloved Boise business shutting their doors. Now, A Succulent Day is saying goodbye, posting online that they've made the decision to close their doors. Their last day, it's April 12th. Martha Mendoza stating that she plans to focus on her family, reconnect with the world beyond the shop's walls, and explore plants in a new way. She's thanking all of the community members who have made these past couple years so great. And mortgage rates remaining high nationwide, but of course he didn't need us to tell you that.
Yeah, Idaho may be especially feeling the pressure on that housing market. Let's take a look at some of that data. A Boise realtor reporting clients in California are accelerating their plans to move to the Gem State after the Los Angeles wildfires that broke out at the beginning of January. Now, after the Camp Fire in Northern California, you may remember it from November of 2018, pending home sales here in Boise spiked within 6 to 8 weeks. It comes as materials for building new homes stays high, and they could spike even more once the president's planned 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico go into effect. Those were postponed in January. Well, changes happening at the Department of Health and Welfare, why a foster care reform activist says the department is heading in the right direction.
And don't forget, here's our question of the day. Just 8% of people never clean this. What is it? We'll read some of your guesses next.
This is CBS 2 News this morning.
Well, good morning. It is 6:30 on your Friday morning, and we are out on the road this morning. We are at Bond and Bevel in Caldwell. We're having a lot of fun, folks, and there's a great opportunity for you to come out and say hi.
Yeah, from 5 to 9 a.m., you can get free drip coffee on CBS 2 and Fox 9. So you can come get some coffee, say hi to us. They let the whole crew out of the station today, so it's a great morning.
I love it. We're having too much fun. So again, through 9 a.m., come on down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell. Say hi. Get a cup of joe on us.
Yeah, and if you are going to head out this morning, you may need to bundle up, but how much, Eric?
Much bundling.
So we will need to bundle up slightly. It's not going to be too cold today. We're going to see temperatures in the upper 40s throughout the most part. But, you know, I got so excited making that coffee the last segment, I didn't get to Maine weather. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that now, if we can get that back at the station. All right, let's take a look across the Gem State right now. You're looking at those beautiful lights here in Caldwell at Indian Creek Plaza and Bogus Basin with those partly cloudy skies right now. All right, let's take a look at our next weather maker. We're going to see, as you see, satellite and radar right now, and we're currently seeing clouds linger from that last system that moved through the area, and that will continue to be the case until you see what you see there brewing there in the Pacific moves its way into the area over the weekend. Now let's take a look at high resolution futurecast. We'll see a slight chance of valley rain late Saturday and scattered mountain snow throughout the day Saturday, but Sunday will be the wet day. We'll see valley rain and light mountain snow with less than an inch of accumulation expected. Now we're going to take a look at our 7-day forecast. We're going to see temperatures for the next couple of days in the 40s. We'll see 45 today. We'll see a 50-degree temperature on Monday here. And we're going to continue to see 50s in the forecast for next week. We're going to see that rainy day on Sunday here in the Treasure Valley, and also snow rain mix in the higher elevations. Taking to the extended forecast for the mountains, we'll continue to see lower temperatures there. We'll see temperatures in the 30s today, and over the weekend we'll see a slight chance of some showers on Saturday. We'll see temperatures over the weekend in the 30s and 40s for the higher elevations. So there you have it.
Not too bad. Thank you, Eric. Well, the man with the killing of the United Healthcare CEO due in court today.
Luigi Mangione is set for a hearing in New York State Court where a judge could set a trial date. Mangione pleading not guilty to charges including murder as an act of terrorism. His state charges having maximum sentence of life in prison without parole. The 26-year-old also facing federal stalking and murder charges that have the possibility of the death penalty. Prosecutors saying both cases will move forward at the same time, but state charges will likely go to trial first. And the Senate voting 51-49 to confirm Kash Patel as the new FBI director.
Yes, and it was a narrow victory for yesterday. Patel coming under fire for potentially using his role to settle potential scores on President Trump's behalf.
He has neither the experience, the judgment, nor the temperament to lead the FBI.
Patel previously criticized the FBI and has spoken about his desire for major changes at the agency. Two Republican senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, citing Patel's prior political activities. They joined Democrats in voting against Patel's confirmation yesterday. The FBI already in turmoil. During his hearing, Patel said there will be no politicization at the FBI and no retributive action. After the confirmation yesterday, he released a statement saying, quote, "My mission as director is clear. Let good cops be cops and rebuild trust in the FBI."
Well, a former foster parent and advocate for foster reform who testified about systematic mistreatment last March, attending yesterday's budget hearing.
And in the past year, his stance changing from critical to optimistic. Dakota Casted's CDA gives us a look at why.
Brian McCauley is an advocate for foster care reform here in the Gem State and a former foster parent. He told me that in the past, the department struggled to take the concerns of the foster care community seriously, but Thursday's budget presentation represents a reprioritization for the state.
They have historically been defensive about issues that have been shared. There's been a culture of appeasement. What we're finding now is with the new director in place, Director Adams, he has made it a full focus to completely overhaul the way the department manages cases, their interaction with foster families, with the other participants in the system.
Part of that change, McCauley said, was the Department of Health and Welfare's emphasis on prevention, or methods used to keep children at home with their families instead of placing them in the system.
It's a tricky balance. There are cases where kids are in very dangerous, tragic circumstances, and removing those kids is absolutely a necessity. Many times kids and their families could stay in place if they just had the support services they needed, an opportunity to maybe learn a better way to do things, some training, some services to give them what they need to be able to stay together in their family unit.
McCauley, who previously spoke with CBS 2 about what he characterized as systemic mistreatment of children and families within the system, said Thursday's budget illustrated the Department of Health and Welfare's new perspective.
Historically, the focus has been more on putting out a fire after it started, and what Director Adams is presenting here is to try and get ahead of that and support families and support kids before they need to be brought into care. Today's meeting on the budget shows that he's made a full priority on trying to completely overhaul the way the system approaches the needs of the foster community.
Part of McCauley's optimism is placed in the department's efforts to find new foster parents, which are critically needed to meet demand. He encouraged anyone who has been curious before to learn more about potentially becoming a foster parent. You can find more information on being a foster parent in Idaho and today's budget on our website, idahonews.com. In studio, Dakota Casted's DJ, reporting.
Thank you, Dakota. And now turning to our legislative coverage, a few bills being taken up in the House today.
A bill to prevent Idaho from enforcing mask mandates and a Senate bill that would require students to be proficient in cursive handwriting.
In the Senate, the bill that aims to get rid of the whammy, the program is a partnership between Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. It allows Idaho students to train at the University of Idaho for 2 years before finishing their training elsewhere. A bill aims to help women detect breast cancer in its early stages by requiring health insurance to cover supplemental breast cancer screenings, and a bill that takes aim at what it refers to as indecent sexual exhibitions. Some are concerned it's targeting events put on by Idaho's LGBTQ+ community, and we will keep you updated on all of these bills as they make their way through the State House.
All right, we'll bundle up and head up to McCall for the Winter Carnival. It's happening this weekend, and Mother Nature sure is showing off this year.
Yeah, Carnival in Paradise. Of course, it kicks off today, tomorrow, and it goes through Sunday. Now, after last year's snow shortage, the snow sculpture contest, it officially returns. And if you've never seen those sculptures, you need to get up there and do it. It's pretty fantastic. With more than 2 feet of fresh powder already this month, those sculptors have been hard at work creating their stunning icy masterpieces. Also, you can enjoy live music, a Mardi Gras parade, fireworks over Payette Lake, and a children's torchlight parade. On Saturday, you can hop on the free shuttle for less stress. What else to know? Just head to idahonews.com.
So much fun. And also so much fun is where we get to do our shows from this morning. We're at Bond and Bevel over in Caldwell to drink some coffee, give you your latest news from a beautiful scenery. I mean, it is so unique in here. Clara, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to.
Yeah, thank you for getting up a little bit earlier for us. We definitely appreciate it. And of course, the coffee definitely helps.
Yeah. Coffee always helps.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about Bond and Bevel. You told us that you've been around for 3 years. What exactly was the concept behind this coffee shop? Because it is really unique.
Yes, definitely. Like I said earlier, I think it's really hard to be just coffee or just a leather shop. And with coffee shops that are only coffee shops, they usually are very high volume, so they're a drive-through or something like that. And we really wanted to lean into our community, and we wanted to foster those relationships. Our baristas know all of our customers that come in regularly. They know their names, they know their drinks, and so we really wanted to be able to have a space for that. And what better space than a gorgeous building and leather goods that you can look at and really high quality coffee. So it just creates an environment that people just want to be in.
Absolutely. And you're in Indian Creek Plaza, as we've mentioned before. Yeah. What is it like being a part of this community here in Caldwell?
Yeah, that's we love being here so much, and we know a lot of the city officials. We know a lot of the people who run the plaza. They come in often. They take meetings here, and yeah, we love to be a part of our community and then to also support our community. And so we're very involved. We know all the things that are going on, and we really appreciate the fact that they have really embraced us. We have people who constantly are advertising for us. We hardly have to do any advertising because all of our customers love us so much.
Say, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And makes it easy too, because those relationships are really what matters. That's what people want to do. They want to go to their community coffee shop and enjoy their mornings.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Speaking of the coffee here, of course, we do have free drip coffee through 9 a.m. on us, so come on down, say hi, but tell us a little bit about some of your specialty coffees, because this honey lavender latte is amazing. Do you have a favorite drink that you like to make?
Yes, I think orange mochas, those are on our seasonal menu, and that one is really popular. Our honey lavender latte, we get our honey from a small honey company in Wilder, and so all of our drinks that include honey have that in it, which is very, very fun. It's fantastic honey. We would eat it by the spoonful if we could.
Don't tempt me.
How do you decide which coffee items get added to the seasonal menu?
Yeah. We have usually, we get most of our syrups from a company in Oregon, and they usually have rotating seasonal items, and so it makes it easy for us because, they came out with an orange syrup, they came out with some other new ones, and it was great to be able to add those to our menu.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Clara. Yeah. The coffee is delicious. You definitely want to come check it out. And we'll be here through our shows, 8 a.m., free drip coffee until 9 a.m., so you can come say hi to us. We look forward to seeing you down here.
Definitely, and we have a lot more to come from Bond and Bevel in Caldwell coming up next. But don't forget about our question of the day. Of course, that question, 8% of people never clean this. What are you thinking, Ashley?
I think I might stick with oven. It's one that I don't normally think about because, it gets pretty warm in there.
No, I think that's a good one. I'm going to say, I'm just in the spirit of coffee, the coffee pot.
That's a good, you don't think about it. And you need to clean it.
It is every now and then. All right, let's see what folks at home have to say. Carol says an oven. She's with
okay.
ya.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, Wes Sussum says a coffee cup.
Yep. Oh,
guilty of that. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
All right, and then Kirby says the blinds on the windows.
Gotta clean those too.
Spring cleaning's coming up. All right, folks, if you think you know the answer, you have a little more time to get in your guesses on our Question of the Day post. You can find that on our Facebook page, and we'll reveal the answer coming up at the end of the show, right before CBS Mornings.
We'll be back at the end of, after the break for more We Need Coffee. We'll be back with that.
This is CBS 2 News this morning.
Good morning. It is 6:45 on your Friday. Welcome back to CBS 2 News. Now, you're taking a live look at Indian Creek Plaza in Caldwell, and not far from there, we are live right now at Bond and Bevel Coffee House in Caldwell.
We sure are, and if you saw the last time we were here, I made some coffee for Ashley now, and Sarah, and now it's time for Ashley to make it for us. So let's see what she has up her sleeve.
Yeah, hey, Ashley, how's it going?
All right, we are ready to make some coffee this morning. I'm joined by Ethne, and you're going to have your work cut out for you. My experience does not go far with making coffee, but we're hoping for the best. I'm sure you're going to teach me to make a great drink. So what are we going to make this hour?
So we are going to make another mocha.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you take a 12-ounce cup.
All right.
And then we're going to take our chocolate sauce right here, and you're going to put 1.5 pumps.
All right.
And now it's a general half pump. There you go.
Yeah, we'll say that was half.
That was pretty good. Pretty good. Then we're going to come over here to our coffee grinder, and you're going to press this button right here.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Grind all the coffee.
There we go.
Then I will have you can set your cup down.
All right, we'll set it right here.
Perfect. I'll have you take that.
We're gonna grab this guy right here.
Perfect.
All right.
And then we're going to hook it on the edge of this little mat right here. Exactly
like
that.
this?
Yes.
All right.
Then we're going to take this little wooden guy, and you're going to put it in there and spin it around.
Oh.
And so that kind of flattens out the coffee, so it makes it even when the water goes through it.
Okay. Oh, that looks good.
Nice and flat.
Okay.
Then you're going to take this guy, that's our tamper.
Okay.
You're gonna put it on there, and you're going to push it down.
All right.
Perfect. Alrighty.
Did we do that right?
You did it right.
Okay.
You did perfect.
Okay.
Then we're going to take it in here. I'll actually help you put it in there because it's a little funky.
Oh.
So we have to put it in there and tighten it all up for us.
That's giving you a workout.
Yep. Then you're going to press that button right there. Perfect. So we're going to wait until the coffee goes up to the 50 mark. I'll turn it over for you. So that 50 mark line.
All right.
Perfect. And while we're waiting, all set up. So this is our 12-ounce milk pitcher.
Okay.
So I'm going to come over here and grab some milk.
This is an art.
It really is. It really is. And we're going to fill this up with some milk. Alrighty, and then we're going to come back to our shot. It looks like it's right about at 50.
Okay.
So then we're going to grab our cup
next. All right.
And you're going to take it and just pour it right in.
Pour it right in there. Good luck, Sarah and Eric. Here we
I'm
go.
Sure it'll taste great. You're doing good so far.
We'll put that guy right here. All right.
Then I'm going to give you this guy right here, and we're going to mix it up. Because the chocolate sauce tends to stick on the bottom of there.
There we go. We'll make sure we get that nice and mixed. All right.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, that's a handy dandy tool.
It's pretty useful. Pretty useful. Then I'm going to have you steam some milk.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll have you take the milk pitcher.
All right.
And you're going to put it up in here. So this is our steam wand. So it actually ends up adding a little bit of air, and it heats up the milk for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn it on.
All right.
It might be a little loud, so don't get scared. Turn it on there. So then I'm going to have you pull it down just a little bit.
Okay.
You hear that noise?
Oh, yeah.
So that's adding the air to it. So
okay.
It makes it a little better.
Ooh, it's getting nice and warm. That's what we like.
We like hot coffee, right? Especially in this cold weather.
Yes.
Perfect. Alrighty, so it's probably hot enough right about now, so I'll turn it off for you.
I feel so professional.
There
You're doing a great job,
hey,
Ethne.
That's very good milk, so very impressed. And then you're just going to pour it right in.
Okay. You are a great teacher because it takes a lot to teach me to make coffee.
Well, you're a great.
Okay.
Oh, that is very incredible milk. You got a little bit of latte.
Do you see that latte art? Oh my word.
That is beautiful.
Sarah and Eric, you're getting latte art this morning.
I think we need to serve that one without a lid.
Okay, we're going lidless.
Lidless. I can take that from you.
Perfect. Ooh, so sorry. All right.
Perfect. And then you are good to go.
Okay.
Take your entire drink and you can.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
You're a great teacher this morning. All right. Are you guys ready for this?
I enjoy the 2 hands.
We're just lucky I don't trip and fall on my way over.
All right, moment of truth.
Okay, do you see that? I don't know what it is, but it's some art.
Yes.
It's some art. Yeah.
I don't want to drink it. It's super All right, well, here we go.
Okay, moment of truth.
One up.
Moment of truth.
Oh, that is really good. Good job. Okay, I will take being one up. That's fine.
No.
Absolutely. So good. And that art, magnifique.
That's staying close to Sarah. All right. Well, of course, we have much more coming from Bond and Bevel throughout the morning, and you can get free coffee through 9 a.m. today. So come on down and grab a cup of joe on us.
And Sarah's next to make coffee, so you're going to want to stay tuned.
I'm excited.
This is CBS 2 News this morning.
Welcome back. It's 6:53 on your Friday. Well, hey, bird flu raising the price of eggs across the country. Over the last 30 days, around 151 flocks have been confirmed to have avian flu. It's affecting more than 23 million birds across the U.S., according to Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. That's part of the USDA.
And now health officials are trying to keep that virus from spreading any further. The U.S. Department of Agriculture issuing a conditional license for an avian flu vaccine. The hope is that it would quickly stop the spread and get egg prices back on track. But not everyone is on board with that idea.
To vaccinate the flocks in this country and deal with the political repercussions of that from the GOP base, or deal with rising egg prices and maybe eggs coming in from Mexico.
Other countries already vaccinate chickens against the bird flu. Some argue vaccinating chickens may make it difficult to detect the virus in those immunized birds, and trade concerns that could result from that.
All right, well, hey, back here at home, the Steelheads begin a series of games against the Wichita Thunder starting tonight. The team hoping to use the games to do some good as well. They're teaming up with the Jaden DeLuca Foundation to raise money for children's heart health. The Steelheads will wear custom-designed jerseys created by the foundation for the games, and those jerseys will be available for fans to bid on. Fans can place bids starting today at 4 p.m. Proceeds from the jersey auction go toward the Jaden DeLuca Foundation and St. Luke's Children's Hospital. That game is at Idaho Central Arena. It begins at 7:10 p.m. Then the puck dropping once again tomorrow night. All right, well, as we end the hour, again, we're at Bond and Bevel.
Yep, and through 9 a.m. you can get free coffee on us, free drip coffee on us, again, through 9 a.m. So come on down to Caldwell, Bond and Bevel, and get a cup of joe on us. It's a great morning.
Yeah, should we take a look at our question of the day?
Yes, let us take a look at our question of the day. Folks, that question, 8% of people say they never clean this. The answer, Eric, you got it. It's phones.
Oh, okay.
This time.
A good reminder. Never.
Never.
All right, well, we have even more of your latest news and weather online and on idahonews.com. We'll see you on Fox 9 for the 7 o'clock hour, so tune on over there for your latest news and weather.
Take the news with you on the radio. News Talk KBOI. And for news and information 24 hours a day, click on idahonews.com. CBS Mornings is coming up next. And watch for your next local newscast on CBS 2 today at 11. Connect with CBS 2 for local news and weather on idahonews.com.
Good morning and welcome to Fox 9 News. Now, we are out and about this morning on the road. We are at Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, having a great time, sipping some coffee, and even you guys got a chance to even make some earlier.
Yeah,
and it's been wonderful. It's
pretty great.
I got one upped, and that's fine.
No, great.
One up me anytime.
No, great teachers here at Bond and Bevel. You know,
we both did a good job.
Yeah, not only did they let us out of the studio this morning, they sent us to a place where we can get caffeinated. We can make the coffee drinks. It's a great Friday morning.
Yeah, and speaking of getting caffeinated, you can too through 9 a.m. Come on down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, and free drip coffee is on us. Again, that's through 9 a.m. this morning. We hope to see you here.
Yeah, and if you are heading out this morning, Eric, you're telling us you may want to bundle up, but on the bright side, not, a very different sight from last Friday.
Absolutely, because last Friday was a lot of dreary weather out there, snow, but we're going to see a mostly dry day, or actually all dry today. Let's take a look from on top of our Fox 9 studios in downtown Boise. As I mentioned, we're going to see mostly clear conditions for the most part, but we do have some areas of patchy fog, so there are some portions of the viewing area with some diminished visibility. Now let's take a look at current temperatures out there right now. We're seeing temperatures spots in the teens and 20s across the area, some 30s as well. Like McCall and Baker City are seeing some teens, but we're slowly warming up as the morning goes along. Now here's a look at clouds and radar. Not much show at this time on the radar besides some scattered clouds across the Treasure Valley. Taking a look at our projected highs, it looks like we'll see most areas in the mid to upper 30s to low to mid 40s. Here in Boise, we'll see a high of 45 degrees. Here in Caldwell, the land of my beautiful lights, we'll see a temperature of 45 degrees. 33 in Stanley, 38 in Harper, and for our friends in Baker City as well. Now here's what we can expect for the next couple of days. We'll see well above average temperatures. At average temperatures, 38 degrees. We'll see a high of 51 tomorrow, 49 on Sunday, and look, 55 balmy degrees on Monday. We'll see a 52 on Tuesday and 53 on Wednesday. A far cry from those negative wind chills that we saw the last couple of weeks in the forecast. Now coming up, we'll have a full look at that extended forecast a little bit later on. Please.
Thank you, Eric. Looking forward to that. Well, a helicopter crash at the Rary Reservoir, that's just east of Idaho Falls overnight.
Yeah, it crashed onto a frozen reservoir about halfway between the Rary Dam and the Blacktail access area. Let's take a look at some of those details from this morning. One person is now dead, another sent to the hospital. Deputies say they found a downed power line nearby as well. The area around the Rary Reservoir closed off because of that downed line and because of unstable ice. Multiple agencies getting together to assess the damage, including the Bonneville County Sheriff's deputies, Search and Rescue, Idaho Fish and Game, Jefferson Central Fire, and Idaho Falls Fire. The Federal Aviation Administration and NTSB are being notified as crews are investigating why that helicopter went down and why it was in the area to begin with. We will keep you updated as we learn more details.
And this comes during a recent spike in crashes coming from the sky. The most recent, the plane that ended up upside down on a runway in Canada. The investigation into what caused that aircraft to flip is still ramping up. The Canadian Transportation Safety Board saying the wreckage is now off that runway. It's in a nearby hangar for further investigation. Delta confirming that all 21 passengers who were hospitalized with injuries have since been released.
2 people are dead after 2 small aircrafts collided midair over Marana, Arizona earlier this week. The other 2 in the second plane walked away without having to go to the hospital. Marana Regional Airport is referred to as an uncontrolled airfield, which means that pilots communicate their location with one another, leaving the responsibility of maintaining their safe separation on the pilot in command. The town of Marana currently working on getting an airport control tower.
And before that, others reigniting attention to air safety. A medevac plane crash in Philadelphia killed 7 people. A plane crash in Alaska killing 10. A private plane that ran off the runway just northeast of Scottsdale, killing the pilot. And late last month, the collision of a passenger jet, an Army helicopter in Arlington, Virginia, killing 67 people. Some blaming recent federal cuts in the FAA as the reason why we're seeing so many crashes.
I do think the American public does need to be concerned about, not only my firing, but also the firing of so many public safety, national security professionals at the FAA.
Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal writing a letter to Transportation Secretary asking for the FAA firings to be reversed. But the Secretary of the Department of Transportation arguing they haven't fired any air traffic controllers or critical safety personnel as part of those federal cuts.
And we turn now to our continuing coverage of Idaho's foster care crisis.
Yeah, the state still sending Idaho foster children out of state for care. Now, data from the 2024 state fiscal year showing Idaho sent 138 children to treatment centers outside of the Gem State. That's up from 68 children in 2021, and the first time that more than 100 kids have been sent out of state for treatment. And it comes at a big cost to taxpayers. Data obtained by CBS 2 showing the state spent more than $10 million to treat these kids out of state. Now, that is more than double than what the state spent back in 2023. During the 2021 state fiscal year, the state spending just over $1.2 million on that care. And as for why foster kids are being sent out of the state, it's because an in-state provider isn't available or doesn't have the resources to meet the needs of that child. Health and Welfare saying the cost of treating foster kids in congregate care, it's split between federal and state funding. 25% of foster kids placed in congregate care end up going out of state.
At the Idaho Legislature, Health and Welfare Director Alex Adams asking lawmakers for more full-time workers. That's 104 new employees, family service workers, youth safety and permanency staff, and foster program, clinical and licensing staff. The director says these positions will help the system focus on keeping kids out.
When a child is committed to the custody of the department, we have a legal obligation to place them. One option is keeping them in home through a prevention case. The other option is if they do come into our care, we can either place them in a foster home or congregate care, which I believe is what Representative Tanner is referring to. If I keep a kid in their home in a prevention case, it's $1.80 a day. If a child is removed from their home and placed in foster care, it's $16 a day. If I don't have a foster bed available to them, congregate care is $380 a day. You get your best outcomes in prevention cases.
Since the pandemic, saying it's one reason he's focusing the budget on prevention cases and recruiting more foster parents. He says there are 94 foster families available for every 100 kids entering the system, which is a big improvement.
And the governor's office recommending about 53 positions. As for that budget request, the director planning to keep expenses lower in other parts of health and welfare in order to accommodate the increase in youth and family services. The budget will be sent out sometime later this morning.
And recruiting new foster families is a challenge for the state of Idaho. Data obtained by CBS 2 News shows there are 488 new foster families in Idaho during the most recently completed fiscal year.
And that actually is the lowest number going back about 4 years. However, in the summer, there were 94 foster families available for every 100 foster kids. The department's goal is 150 foster families. And we have much more going on inside the Capitol, so of course stay tuned to Fox 9 News, and you can always find the latest by heading to idahonews.com.
And we are live at Bond and Bevel here in Indian Creek Plaza over in Caldwell this morning, taking our shows on the road this morning, and we are joined by Caldwell Police Chief Rex Ingram. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
No, definitely. I was going to say, it's a great morning to be out here, and of course the coffee is hot. Again, all folks can come out until 9 a.m. to get free drip coffee, but we are so thankful you took the time out to be with us this morning. So let's start off first with, of course, addressing kind of an elephant in the room. A lot of people, including us, have questions about lawsuits that were brought against you, actually from a fellow Caldwell officer for sexual discrimination and harassment. Do you have a response to that?
So that's kind of a tricky subject right now, but yeah, I appreciate you guys covering this and giving me some airtime on this. You know, it's interesting. If you go back several years, why I was hired to come into Caldwell was really to clean up the mess here that has been here for a long time, and there was a culture here that was just not good and very toxic. And so when you lead people, like in any organization, you're going to have folks that are not happy with change and are just not happy with the way things are going, and they'll do anything they can to detract you from the success and the positive changes that are happening. And you know, I let my reputation speak for itself. I'm proud to say that I work in one of the most diverse policing agencies in the world in Los Angeles, and I've never had any issues with this stuff, and people are doing whatever they can to try to publicly defame me and slander me, and it's fine. I'll have my day in court. I hope I get to go to court. But as you know, lawsuits sometimes don't ever make it to court because they get settled out for whatever reason. But I'm really looking forward to the next steps in this process.
And what are those next steps?
So our insurance company, which is iCrimp, they insure the city of Caldwell. They are in negotiations and talks with the plaintiffs in this matter, and I just hope that I get depositions and get to cross-examine people and defend myself.
Definitely. So can you talk a little bit, because you said you came in here to kind of help some of the challenges of Caldwell. What exactly did you see, and what are you doing to try to change that? Kind of explain that to us.
Yeah.
So when I got hired, the FBI and the Department of Justice were investigating current and former employees for federal civil rights violations. And to me, there was an undertone in the organization of just kind of the Wild West mindset of everyone just running amok. Training was dismal. The officers were getting about 8 hours of training a year. We've increased that by almost 350%. Our training budget, we've increased our budget almost by $10 million. We've recruited over 60 new employees, and unfortunately we've separated with over 20 employees. And you know, in any organization that is having issues, you have to look at the leadership. You have to look at who's in charge of these organizations. And really, you know, I always say there's no such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders. And so what I try to do is strategically place new people in these positions and implement systems and controls and policy manuals, and really giving people a different perspective on the 21st century of policing in this country, which is where we need to be at.
And so what are some of the biggest goals for Caldwell Police Department in 2025?
Well, crime reduction is obviously the mission of any police organization in the country. That's our mission. And I'm so proud of the fact that we have reduced crime in the city of Caldwell from 2022 to now by 30%, Part 1 crime, which is violent crime. So that's our top priority, but really continue to foster these relationships with businesses like Bond and Bevel and other businesses in the area and our key community stakeholders. But that's a lot of hard work, especially when you have folks that are coming out here and publicly trying to slander and defame the great work that the men and women do every day to try to get people to turn on us. And it's, you know, I'm not naive to the fact that we have folks that are unhappy, you know, but at the end of the day, our work speaks for itself. Bringing new technology in, new training, more equipment, and we're just really blessed to have such a supportive, amazing community here that truly backs us.
Well, thank you, Chief Ingram, for being here this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
And we hope you get some coffee after this.
I'm going to get my coffee.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the break with even more news.
You're watching Fox 9 News This Morning.
Welcome back. Here's a live look at my beloved lights in Indian Creek Plaza. Thank you for joining us. We are here at Bond and Bevel. I need more coffee, obviously. And we are here. We're making each other coffee. We're giving you guys coffee. And, you know, Sarah's up next.
Yeah, you can actually get free drip coffee from CBS 2 and Fox 9 from 5 to 9 a.m. So you have a couple more hours. And Eric and I are definitely in need of some more coffee this morning. So obviously, we are in luck that our lovely Sarah is going to make us some coffee this morning, and we have high hopes on this drink that she's about to make us.
Because she used to be a barista, so, you know, she's on the spotlight now.
All right,
Sarah?
we want to see those skills.
It has been many years since I've been a barista, but we are excited to get behind the coffee desk. I am joined by Ethne. She is a barista extraordinaire here at Bond and Bevel. So if you come out this morning, she's the one making your coffee. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what we're making today, because we've been talking to Clara all morning long, and she's been saying the orange mocha is one of your seasonal faves.
Yes. So I would say let's make an orange mocha.
Yeah.
We can give it to them and see if they like it as well.
Perfect.
So we are going to start out and we're going to grab a 12-ounce cup. So that's that middle guy.
In the middle, all right.
We'll grab this guy.
Oh, this guy. Sorry, I'm going for the iced.
You're
That's why
good,
it's too
you're
cold.
good.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to put some mocha in there. So let's do 1 pump of mocha.
1 pump.
And then we're going to come over here, and this is our orange syrup. We're going to get that and put 1 pump in there.
And Claire was saying that this is sourced from Oregon as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's so cool. I love that you guys have so many different local offerings. Also, honey from Wilder as well. So some cool stuff that you guys are doing here. I love that.
We love supporting the local team. We're all locals around here.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Hey, why not? All right. Well, next up.
Then we're going to come over here to our coffee grinder,
Okay.
and you're going to press that button right there.
This one?
Yep, that one right
I
there.
do love pressing buttons. Look at that. And it gives you the perfect amount of coffee every single time.
We have to measure it out to make sure it's exact every morning. So
Perfect.
we have to dial it in, but that should be good for you. So
Awesome.
I'll have you grab that
There
guy.
is a definite science to it. Just
Yes,
go around. Okay,
yes.
perfect.
Then we're going to pop it on there. Perfect.
All right.
See, your barista training is coming back.
Here we go.
to you, right?
Yeah, it's like riding a bike.
It's all coming back. Perfect.
Yes.
And
All
then
right.
that should be good.
Ooh, look at that. Look how nice that looks.
Flatten
All right.
it off.
And then we tamper.
Yep.
Is the next step.
So you're going to smash that down.
Smash it. All right.
Perfect.
You got to get around to smash it down.
You're
All right.
good. You're good. Yeah.
There we go.
Use those muscles.
All right. And it's been a little while, but which
Yep.
one should I use?
You can use any of them.
Okay. Let's see if we can get him in. Is he? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
See,
Okay.
you got it down.
Look
You're
at that.
great.
See, no, I appreciate you. You're giving me the confidence.
There you go.
Perfect.
Alrighty, so we're gonna press that button right there. Another button to press.
Love it. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you folks at home could smell how good Bond and Bevel smells between the coffee and the leather goods.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
is one of the most common things. People come in and they love the smell of our coffee shop.
you guys do need to make a
Definitely
candle with this smell because it is so amazing.
It's pretty special.
All right, so we're pulling our shots right now. So this is 2 shots, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
we're pulling
perfect.
2 shots and it'll go up to that 50 mark right up there.
Perfect. See, it's a science.
It's all a science.
All right, let's get the milk out.
Perfect.
We're doing some whole milk. Hope that's okay with Ashley and Eric over there. So I'm getting a thumbs up.
Perfect. Well, this looks like it's almost done, so I'll have you stop that right there.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Then we're going to take our cup.
Okay.
And we're going to dump the 2 shots right in there.
Whoop, here we go.
Perfect.
Smells so good.
And then I'll have you grab that little mixer.
Oh, I like him. I want one of these.
They're pretty useful. Pretty useful.
Okay, I'm assuming stirring?
Yes.
Sorry, I kind of went a little ahead on that
You're
one.
good. You're good. You already know a little bit. So.
Okay, so the mocha, obviously the hot coffee helping meld that together,
Yep.
creating delicious chocolate orange goodness.
And
All
that
right.
looks pretty good.
There we go.
And you can just
Again, sanitation. You want that up? Okay.
There you go. And
Perfect.
then I will have you grab the milk pitcher.
All
So
right,
we're
and then
gonna
we're
steam some milk there.
perfect.
I'll have you.
And then we twist.
Yes. Thank you. My
hand's a little wet.
You're good. I'll turn it on for you.
No worries.
Move that down.
Ah, there we go.
So I like to feel it sometimes. It gets
Oh,
a little
yeah.
hot, so careful.
That's okay.
But you temp it out to make sure your milk is warm enough. Because
Oh, yeah, you can feel it.
Coffee,
Nobody wants lukewarm coffee.
Lukewarm. You got to make sure it's just right. for ya.
Especially for mornings like this.
Yes.
All right, and folks, too, a reminder that through 9 a.m. you can get free drip coffee here on us, courtesy of CBS 2 News and Fox 9. All right, so we go pour it in?
And we pour it right in.
All right. Let me get a better grip on this real quick.
Perfect. That's some pretty great milk right there.
There we go. Ooh,
There you
delicious.
go.
I think it has a little person, maybe. I don't know if that's real art,
Or maybe
but
like a little tree or something.
there we go. I like
There you
that.
go.
That's
There
what we're
you
seeing.
go.
Thank you so much.
course,
This
of
is so fun.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Of course, the reason why Bond & Bevel is so wonderful, it blends coffee with leather works. They make leather products right here in the coffee shop. So you can come, get some coffee, enjoy some of their leather goods. It smells amazing. But this morning, again, through 9 a.m., come on down, drip coffee on us. Moment of truth now. This is the orange mocha. It's one of their best specialty flavors for the season.
Sure, I'll take the
Yeah, I made it.
Oh, look at
I think
that.
it's a little alien for you.
Oh, I
You know,
can
giving
see
them-
that
giving
now,
them
the
that-
eyes, for sure. All right.
Okay.
The moment of truth. Oh. Girl, you better get back there and make me another cup. It's so
All right,
good. So good.
Oh.
It's a good, yeah.
Okay. This one's not going to last too
No,
long.
it's not.
No, it's not.
Say that orange mocha, so good. Again, folks, we hope to see you here through 9 a.m. Again, free drip coffee on Fox 9 News, but we'll be back with more of your news and air coming up.
And we promise we'll let the
You're watching Fox 9 News this morning.
It's 7:24 on your Friday. Welcome back. Some economists warning about Doge, the so-called Doge dividends, and that it could fuel more inflation.
Kevin Hassett, the director of the White House National Economic Council, dismissing those concerns.
Oh, absolutely not, because imagine if we don't spend government money and we give it back to people, then if they spend it all, then you're even. But they're probably going to save a lot of it, in which case you're reducing inflation.
Okay, according to the proposal, Doge is expected to complete its work by July of 2026. When it's all done, 1/5 of any savings could be sent out later that year to the roughly 79 million households that pay income taxes. Musk's goal is to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget, though experts say it's unlikely Doge will reach that mark.
And House Speaker Mike Johnson not on board with a taxpayer dividend from the savings of the Doge project and what they've found in federal spending.
Fiscal responsibility is what we do as conservatives. That's our brand. And we have a $36 trillion federal debt. We have a giant deficit that we're contending with. I think we need to pay down the credit card.
And this after President Trump and Musk both said it is on the table. Other conservative lawmakers saying something similar, noting that issuing checks won't do much to help the country's fiscal situation. Musk saying he's angling for $2 trillion in savings. Doge citing $55 billion so far, yet that has not been backed up. Some reports show that's based on a misrepresentation of numbers. And a beloved Boise business closing their doors. A Succulent Day saying goodbye, posting online that they're making the decision to close shop. Their last day will be April 12th. Now, Martha Mendoza saying she plans to focus on her family, reconnect with the world outside of the plant shop, and explore plants in a new way. She's thanking neighbors for all of their years of support. And mortgage rates, they remain high, but you don't need us to tell you that.
Yeah, Idaho especially feeling the pressure on the housing market. Boise realtors reporting that clients in California are accelerating their plans to move up here to the Gem State after the Los Angeles wildfires that broke out on January 7th. Now, following the Camp Fire in Northern California, you may remember it was in November of 2018. They say pending home sales in Boise spiked within 6 to 8 weeks. It comes as materials for building new homes remains high, and they could spike even more once the president's planned 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico go into effect. Those were postponed in January. Changes happening at the Department of Health and Welfare, why a foster care reform activist says the department is heading in the
You're watching Fox 9 News this morning.
Well, hey, welcome back to Fox 9 News on this Friday. We are out on the road today, actually inside a coffee shop. We're at Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, having a great time.
Yeah, they let us out of the station this morning. Not only have we been drinking coffee, we've been making it for each other. Gone better than we expected.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they let me behind the counter, but they did. And I had fun. It was a good time.
Oh, it was, and it tasted so good.
So glad you liked it.
They have some delicious coffee. And folks, if you want to get some free drip coffee until 9 a.m., come on down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell. Get that free cup of joe on us. But this morning, of course, it is still chilly out there. Maybe you want something to warm your hands. Eric, what are people looking at? What can we expect?
Well, I recommend you coming here to get a free drip coffee on us for warming of your hands. But yeah, we are going to need something to warm us up a little bit because it's still chilly across the region. Let's take a look outside from on top of our Fox 9 studios. It's mostly clear as that sun comes up this morning, but we will see some areas of some diminished visibility in the Treasure Valley this morning. Now let's take a look at current temperatures across the region. Right now we're seeing some spots with temps in the single digits to teens like Baker City and McCall, while most of the area is in the 20s and 30s. Now let's take a look at clouds and radar. Not much to show at this time on the radar other than some scattered clouds across the Treasure Valley from that last storm system that's slowly moving its way out of the area. Now let's take a look at today's projected highs. It looks like we'll see most areas in the mid to upper 30s to low to mid 40s. We'll see a high in Boise of 45 degrees. Here in Caldwell, in the land of my beloved lights, we will see a temperature of 45 degrees here as well. 33 in Stanley, 38 in Harper, and for our friends in Baker City. Now here's what we can expect for the next couple of days. We'll see temperatures above the average normal temperature of 38 degrees. 51 will be the high tomorrow, 49 on Sunday, and look at Monday. We're going to see 55 balmy degrees. Get those shorts and t-shirts out. It's going to feel like summer. Now, comparatively speaking, that is. We will see 52 degrees on Tuesday and 53 on Wednesday. A far cry from those negative wind chills that we saw the last couple of weeks. Now, coming up, we'll have more weather for you. But first, the ladies have more news.
Thank you, Eric. Looking forward to that. Well, a former foster parent, an advocate for foster reform, who testified about systematic mistreatment last March, attending yesterday's budget meeting.
Yeah, and his stance actually changing from critical to now optimistic. Dakota Castett's DDA explains why.
Brian McCauley is an advocate for foster care reform here in the Gem State and a former foster parent. He told me that in the past, the department struggled to take the concerns of the foster care community seriously, but Thursday's budget presentation represents a reprioritization for the state.
They have historically been defensive about issues that have been shared. There's been a culture of appeasement. What we're finding now is with the new director in place, Director Adams, he has made it a full focus to completely overhaul the way the department manages cases, their interaction with foster families, with the other participants in the system.
Part of that change, McCauley said, was the Department of Health and Welfare's emphasis on prevention, or methods used to keep children at home with their families instead of placing them in the system.
It's a tricky balance. There are cases where kids are in very dangerous, tragic circumstances, and removing those kids is absolutely a necessity. Many times kids and their families could stay in place if they just had the support services they needed, an opportunity to maybe learn a better way to do things, some training, some services to give them what they need to be able to stay together in their family unit.
McCauley, who previously spoke with CBS 2 about what he characterized as systemic mistreatment of children and families within the system, said Thursday's budget illustrated the Department of Health and Welfare's new perspective.
Historically, the focus has been more on putting out a fire after it started, and what Director Adams is presenting here is to try and get ahead of that and support families and support kids before they need to be brought into care. Today's meeting on the budget shows that he's made a full priority on trying to completely overhaul the way the system approaches the needs of the foster community.
Part of McCauley's optimism is placed in the department's efforts to find new foster parents, which are critically needed to meet demand. He encouraged anyone who has been curious before to learn more about potentially becoming a foster parent. You can find more information on being a foster parent in Idaho and today's budget on our website, idahonews.com. In studio, Dakota Castett's DJ, reporting.
About nothing in the lawsuits can't do.
And many foster kids still need support into their adulthood.
A bill is now heading to the House floor aiming to extend the age for foster care resources from 21 to the age of 23.
That's what it takes to get through college if you're going to be going through college or some of these trade programs, and it just helps them have a little bit better chance with a little bit longer support structure there to help them get to where they need to go.
Rising from 18 to 21 a few years ago, the child welfare system finding between 21 to 46% of young adults aging out end up experiencing homelessness by 26 years old. Some testifying in favor, sharing their aging out challenges.
For years, I heard the statistics about what happens to foster youth when they age out of care. So many people were just proud of me for graduating from high school. That was the bare minimum. And yet, when I was pushing myself to go further, they were like, that's great, good aspirations, but temper them. I knew I could do better, but I needed people to take that chance on me.
And some bills being taken up by the House today.
A bill to prevent Idaho from enforcing mask mandates and a Senate bill that would require students to be proficient in cursive handwriting.
In the Senate, the bill that aims to get rid of the WWAMI program, a partnership between Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. It allows Idaho students to train at the University of Idaho for 2 years before finishing their training elsewhere. A bill that aims to help women detect breast cancer in its early stages by requiring health insurance, even private plans, to cover supplemental breast cancer screenings. And a bill that takes aim at what refers to as indecent sexual exhibitions. Some are concerned it's targeting events being put on by Idaho's LGBTQ plus community. Now, we will keep you updated as all these bills make their way through the State House.
All right, we'll bundle on up and head up to McCall. The Winter Carnival is happening, and Mother Nature sure is showing off this year.
Yeah, Caldwell in Paradise is happening today as well as Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, tomorrow, last year's snow shortage, the snow sculpture contest returning with more than 2 feet of fresh powder already this month. Sculptors have been hard at work creating some stunning icy masterpieces. You can also enjoy live music, a Mardi Gras parade, a fireworks over Payette Lake show, and a children's torchlight parade. Then on Saturday, hop on the free shuttle for less stress, and for everything else you need to know, you can head on over to idahonews.com.
Oh, it is such a fun time, and of course, we are here all morning long at Bond and Bevel. It's just near Indian Creek Plaza in Caldwell.
Yeah, we were joined this morning by the mayor, Jeremy Wagner. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate being here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit, because I know a lot of people, including us, have questions about the current lawsuit against the city of Caldwell. What is your response to that?
So, as you know, and as was talked about before, we cannot discuss that. It's pending litigation. You're asked not to bring that up, so I cannot respond to that because of the pending litigation, just out of respect of both parties to make sure it comes forward in that regards.
Definitely, and I respect that, but at the same time, we are doing our job. But I appreciate you commenting on that for us.
So let's go into some of the things going on in Caldwell right now. The parking meters that were initially started, they are no longer. Can you talk a bit about what happened there?
Yeah, so the parking meters were installed, as you mentioned earlier this year, and they were removed at the vote of the council in that regards. We did a lot of outreach beforehand to make sure that we were doing the right thing, and we're always trying to do the right thing for our citizens here in Caldwell. It was kind of a mix, 50-50 split on the parking meters. Once they got installed, however, that changed drastically. So the council listened to the people, and they did vote to remove those at that time. And so we are still looking. There still is a parking problem downtown Caldwell. It's great to have that problem. So many people wanting to come down here. So still looking at what do we do? What's the right thing to fix that, to make that appropriate for the people that want to come and visit Caldwell and have the parking that they need to be here.
Definitely, and there is a lot going on in Caldwell as far as construction too. We've been covering, of course, the hotel going into the lot next to the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and where the city is with that?
Yeah, so that passed council a few councils back. So 4-2 vote, council approved that. So we're working on that, moving forward with that. Really excited. It's a dire need in Caldwell to bring that into our town, and so we're excited to have more rooms available for the people wanting to come and visit Caldwell, and working actively with the county, with the fair, with all those parties involved out there, and really, coming up with what I believe is going to be a great solution all around. So I know there was a lot of opposition in regards to that, some concern about losing that parking on that. So just want to make sure that people know we are working actively with the county, with the fair, and really the goal is to come up with a solution that everybody's a winner at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Right. And so what are some of the biggest opportunities for people who are coming to Caldwell, because Caldwell is growing?
It is, and it just continues to grow. We thought we'd maybe see a little bit of a slowdown like across the rest of the country. However, it just continues to go, and we are just record numbers still of residential building permits coming in. So much great things going on in Caldwell. And a big part of that is where we're at down here in downtown Caldwell, just providing those amenities for our citizens, that people want to come and be a part of it. We hear time and time again, people coming from Ada County, from Boise and Eagle, when they come, they haven't been here for 10 or 20 years, and I'm like, this isn't the Caldwell that I know of. And so it's just neat to see that, and the word's out, and we continue to grow and just still try to provide the appropriate amenities for the people as they move here, because with that growth, you get traffic, you get congestion, things like that. We've got to provide those things for our citizens, water and sewer, and so striving to keep up with that. But it's been great to see. It's a good problem to have. The growth, the parking, those are all good problems to have in a city.
Definitely, and with that growth, a lot of great things. So what other great things are happening here in the city of Caldwell?
So there's a lot. We just ended our Winter Wonderland, which is our annual Christmas light display in downtown Caldwell, which is just fantastic.
just ended actually yesterday. So we have a new initiative, Mayor's initiative, called the Seasons of Caldwell. And it's kind of trying to focus on the positivity in the community and really give back and show how great things are. And so the Season of Caring just ended yesterday. It was kind of revolved around Valentine's Day. And so it's just, encouraging citizens to get out and show how much they care about their community, about their neighbors, about the people in our area, and then take a picture, do something like that, post it to their social media with the hashtag Caldwell Season of Caring. I know my staff and I, we were able to go out and visit several businesses in the downtown and throughout Caldwell and take them a plate of cookies and a little card to say, we care about you, we're glad you're here in Caldwell, and then just post that out. And so we're excited. Our next one is our season of service, which will be the end of April, and partnering with local service organizations to get out and just serve our community. And again, just the hashtag Caldwell Season of Service, and just continuing that throughout the year.
Oh, I love that. It's a great way to bring the community together and, uplift the city, uplift everyone within it. Yeah. That's great.
And what would your message to people who are considering coming to Caldwell be?
It's wonderful. Come and check it out. See what we have to offer. It's amazing. Our downtown. I grew up in Caldwell. Went to Caldwell High School. Graduated from there many years ago. And it's just tremendous to see where we are now compared to where we were in the past. And so I'd say, come and give us a try. Come check us out. See all the great things, especially our businesses, the downtown businesses, and throughout all of Caldwell. Really, we have some incredible, fun little shops and businesses. So come and check them out.
No, thank you so much, Mayor Jerome Wagner, for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like we said, we are here at Bond and Bevel in Caldwell, and we'll be here until the end of our shows. You can get free drip coffee until 9 a.m. on us, so be sure to come check it out, and we'll be back with even more news and weather for you.
Yeah, stay tuned.
You're watching Fox 9 News This Morning.
Welcome back on this Friday.
We are live at Bond and Bevel in Indian Creek Plaza, Eric's favorite place of the morning. He's getting to not only see it in person, but spend a few hours here at Indian Creek Plaza. And the people here at Bond and Bevel have been so kind to us, opening up early, teaching us how to make coffee, which was quite the feat.
Yes. Especially for this guy. They rocked it. Me, not so much.
Oh, gosh. Well, hey, as far as coffee this morning, if you want some free drip coffee through 9 a.m., you can come on down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell and get a free cup of drip coffee on us.
Yeah, and if you are going to head out this morning, it's looking pretty clear out there, which, again, I keep saying it, it's a very far cry from what we saw just a week ago today.
Absolutely. We were seeing some really wet weather last Friday, and I am so glad we are not rinsing and repeating on Fridays this month, because I'm thankful for these clear skies. Speaking of these skies, let's take a look across the Gem State this morning, I should say. We're looking at my beautiful lights there here in Indian Creek Plaza. Bogus Basin is looking a little cloudy right now, as is Tamarack. Now let's take a look at the next weather maker. We are looking at satellite radar right now. We're currently seeing some clouds linger from the last system that moved through the area. That will continue to be the case until what you see there brewing in the Pacific makes its way into the area over the weekend. Now let's take a look at high resolution futurecast. We'll see a slight chance of valley rain late Saturday and scattered mountain snow throughout the day Saturday, but Sunday will be the main event. It'll be the wet day. We will see valley rain and light mountain snow. We're going to see no more than an inch or so of accumulation. Those temperatures are going to stay warm enough for it to not impact much. Now here is a look at our extended forecast. Today we're going to see a high temperature of 48 degrees. And we will see that under those mostly sunny skies, as you see those clear skies out there right now. Saturday, we'll see a high of 51 under mostly cloudy skies. That rain moves into the area late Saturday into Sunday, but Sunday will be the day we see those periods of rain, or that period of rain, high of 49. But Monday is the money maker, 55 degrees under partly cloudy skies, 52 under mostly cloudy skies on Tuesday. We'll end the week on Thursday, on this extended forecast that is, with a high of 56 degrees, just shy of 60 on Thursday. Now for our friends in the mountains, we'll see a partly cloudy day there today with a high of 32. We'll see those scattered showers throughout the morning and afternoon in the mountains, and then that will transition to periods of rain and snow in the evening hours into the day on Sunday. We'll see periods of rain and snow again on Monday as well with a high of 41. We'll chill off just a little bit on Tuesday with a high of 37 under those periods of rain and snow. We'll see snow in the forecast on Wednesday with a high of 40, and we'll see a partly cloudy day on Thursday with a high of 43.
Too bad.
Thank you, Eric. All right, well, let's take a live look out there as we hit 7:49 this morning and check in with News Talk KBOI's Steve Shannon on your morning commute.
freeway. Starting to see some real stacking, though, on the 10-mile on-ramp coming onto eastbound I-84. Pretty busy around Meridian Road and Eagle Road. You got some sunshine in your eyes this morning, so you want to make sure you have your sunglasses handy. Also, a report of an accident northbound 10-mile just north of Franklin Road. Looks like it could be blocking the right lane of traffic. Could be some delays there, but otherwise things looking really, really good for your Friday morning commute. From the News Talk KBOI Traffic Studio, I'm Steve Shannon.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. And some important things to keep in mind as you head out the door this morning. And as always, when you hop in the car, be sure to turn on News Talk 670 KBOI or 93.1 FM for even more team traffic updates. And we'll be back after the break with more news, weather, and traffic for you.
You're watching Fox 9 News This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to Fox 9 News on this Friday. Now, bird flu raising the price of eggs across the country. Just over the last 30 days, 151 flocks have been confirmed to have avian flu. It's affected more than 23 million birds so far. That's according to the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, which is part of the USDA.
And now health officials are hoping to keep that virus from spreading any further. The U.S. Department of Agriculture issuing a conditional license for the avian flu vaccine. The hope is that it would quickly stop the spread and get egg prices back on track, but not everyone is on board with that idea.
To vaccinate the flocks in this country and deal with the political repercussions of that from the GOP base, or deal with rising egg prices and maybe eggs coming in from Mexico.
Other countries already vaccinate chickens against the bird flu, but some argue chickens may make it difficult to detect the virus in immunized birds and trade concerns from what may result from that.
Well, back here at home, the Steelheads beginning a series of games against the Wichita Thunder starting tonight. The team hoping to use the games to do some good as well. They're teaming up with the Jaden DeLuca Foundation to raise money for children's heart health. The Steelheads will wear custom designed jerseys created by the foundation for the games, and those jerseys will be available for fans to then bid on. Fans can place their bids starting today at 4 p.m. Those proceeds from the jerseys auction going towards the Jaden DeLuca Foundation and the St. Luke's Children's Hospital. The game is at Idaho Central Arena beginning at 7:10 p.m. and then the puck drops once again tomorrow night.
And hey, Amazon taking creative control of the James Bond franchise. The 007 films launched by Albert Broccoli back in 1962 before his daughter and stepson then took over. Now, the pair is heading the British Spy over to Amazon and MGM Studios, agreeing to remain as co-owners, but giving Amazon creative freedom. The James Bond franchise is one of the longest-running film series in history, amassing billions at the box office. Amazon obtained the distribution rights to Bond projects when it purchased MGM Studios for more than $8 billion back in 2022.
Well, hey, if you're thinking about eating an egg this morning and you have some time on your hands, we might have just the thing for you. Scientists saying that they think they've come up with a new method for the perfect hard-boiled egg. It's called periodic cooking. Now, the method does take quite a bit of patience if you have that. It involves alternating the eggs between boiling and lukewarm water for 2 minutes at a time. The cycle needs to be repeated 8 times. That's for a whopping total of 32 minutes. So again, only do this if you have the patience. Scientists say this optimally cooks the egg white and yolk simultaneously without separating them. It produces the ideal texture and flavor and also helps the egg retain the most amount of nutrients.
Okay, some good things take time.
Yeah, good that 32 minutes if you have it.
All right, well, hey, as we wrap up this hour, we want to thank everyone at Bond and Bevel who has been here with us. And of course, folks, if you want free drip coffee, you can come down to Bond and Bevel in Caldwell through 9 a.m. and get a free cup of joe on us.
Yeah, we've had such a great time this morning, making coffee, drinking coffee, being in the community. And again, you have one more hour to come down here and get free drip coffee on us. And thank you for joining us this morning, and come down and say hi.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for joining us for Fox 9 News, and we'll see you next Monday morning starting at 7 a.m. right here. So have a great weekend.